Welcome back to ReefSmart by Dallas Discount Reef. We thank you for joining us today, and I certainly do. And on that note, thanks for your patience. So what we are going to talk about today is an interesting, honestly, I think it's kind of a conundrum in this hobby because a lot of times people like, okay, perfect example. I know what my alkalinity is. You ask them 1 week, they'll say, oh, it's 9.6 or whatever it is. Perfect, great, fantastic. Then you have the other part about it where they go, okay, it's fine. But once it gets to be okay, you stop testing. You stop doing those things. That's what I'm talking about saying. And this is a very simple kind of thing. But in a new tank, this is very important. Is once you find your baseline, just make sure you're maintaining that, because the easiest way to have a kick-ass tank full of coral stocked with fish is to just know when you're getting out of range and slowly bring it back in, which is a hell of a lot more work than like going to the fish store, having your dude test your water. And he's like, oh, and he's using an API kit. He's using 7 kits he really doesn't know how to use because he started there 2 weeks ago and he just thinks this shit's cool, whatever. But being able to find that line for yourself, if you have to. I mean, dude, if you got a great... And the thing is, if you go to the store and the guy's like, do this and it's the same, do definitely trust those people. There's a lot of good stores out there. There's, a lot of people that are just misinformed or overconfident. I noticed that a lot in the hobby. I think a lot of people are just misinformed or overconfident in what they actually have experienced. Like, there's one guy I can't, because when I first got in the hobby, and I'd been, well, not first got calls like 2 years in. And he was out there spewing advice because he had one 150-gallon tank that was less than a year old, and everything in there he thought was like growing and doing well, which I saw and I was like, yeah, it's not dying, but I don't see this as a thriving reef aquarium. You're posting pictures, nothing's dying, but I don't see this large growth rate that you're normally supposed to see for a tank that's been set up. Like, you should be able to take a picture 1 month and 3 months later see something different, or 6 months later. I mean, those are practical measures of how you can measure your reef. And I did it for a while, and then I just decided to buy more reef stuff and trade. And then I was like, oh, just don't take pictures. It's growing. I ain't worried about proving it to people. So, totally forgot what we were talking about here. Oh, the whole test kit thing. So, nitrate test kit, you got a new tank. This is the important part. We're getting down the nuts and bolts. We're going to be done. Do your test, but as you stock your tank with more fish and more coral, you are going to have an increase in nitrate. 3 reasons. Fish poop, more food because you add fish, and number 3 is that food is going to break down. So over the long term, you are going to have an additional increase over that initial amount of nitrate that's in your food. Even if it says nitrate free, fish never eat it all. Some of it's going to break down. So you have those 3, and those are just the common factors, not including like some salts have a little bit of nitrate left in them. Certain nutrient additives have some. I know Benepets, when I had an ultra low nutrient system, man, it was great. A little bit of nitrate in there. We'll talk about yeast dosing because I've been doing that. But anyway, this is going to be a short one for today. We're about done with that, but start with your alkalinity test and your nitrate test. And just follow those until you find your baseline. Then we'll add in your phosphate, and then we'll add in the other ones. But again, we're looking at doing a couple tests a week, literally. We're not asking everybody to do a 5-panel test and then send the stuff off to ICP. Nonsense. We're going to take it slow, take it easy. We're going to live on reef time like we're living in Maui, surfing the waves. So thanks for tuning in. Sayonara. Be consistent. You'll have success. Till next time, in 6 minutes.